Superintendent Chalmers. Come in, come in. I was just about to pop my holly into the oven. You know, the one with the tangy cranberry glaze and the sautéed Brussels sprouts? I'm afraid dinner isn't quite done yet, but would you care for a drink while we wait?
So, Skinner, that holly sounds delightful. And a glass of your famous eggnog would hit the spot.
As they sit down, the room begins to tremor slightly.
Oh, I do believe the ground is trying to do the chow. Quite the dance floor we've got here, isn't it, Chalmers?
Skinner, I think that might be an earthquake.
Suddenly, Shadow, the cat, bursts into the room.
Ah, Shadow. Come join us for a drink and some holly. We're celebrating.
Celebrating what?
Why? The death of Sonic, of course.
Sonic's dead. I didn't know. I didn't realize. But I don't see why we should celebrate.
Oh, come now, Shadow. You two may have had your differences, but you always respected each other, didn't you?
Yes, but that doesn't mean I have to celebrate his death. We may have been rivals, but we were still friends.
Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it. But let's raise a glass anyway, for old time's sake. Oh, bloody hell! My holly's burnt to a crisp. I can't believe this. I've been looking forward to this all day. I suppose we could just skip dessert. No one will notice. Or we could improvise. Maybe I can whip up something else. Something quick and easy. But no, that's not good enough. I want to impress Chalmers. He deserves the best. Then what about Shadow? He's here too, and I don't want him to be disappointed. I'll just have to figure something out. I can't let this ruin the evening. But first, I need to find out what happened to my holly. I'll have to talk to the janitor. And give him a piece of my mind. And I hope Shadow didn't hear me talking about Sonic's death. I didn't mean to be insensitive. I guess it's just hard to celebrate without him around. But I'll make the best of it. For Chalmers, for Shadow, and for the memory of Sonic. I've got it. The solution to my holly disaster lies just outside the window. Bamba! That exotic fruit will make for an unforgettable dessert. I just need to climb out and grab a few. But how will I prepare it? I've never worked with this ingredient before. I'll have to do some research. And I'll have to be careful, though. I can't let Chalmers or Shadow catch me. They never let me live it down. Well, I suppose I could ask the janitor for help. But where's the fun in that? This is one challenge I have to conquer on my own. This new dish will be a hit. It'll be the talk of Springfield Elementary. And who knows, maybe even Sonic would have approved. But first, I must be cautious. I don't want to end up in detention for breaking school rules. I'll make this work. For Chalmers, for Shadow, and for the memory of Sonic. Chalmers, I was just about to unveil my masterpiece. I've got a new dessert that's gonna knock your socks off.
What have you got cooking?
It's a exotic fruit called bamba. I found it outside the window. I haven't worked with it before, but I'm confident it'll make for a memorable dessert.
I've never heard of bamba. What does it taste like?
Well, It's a bit of a secret, but I can tell you it's unlike anything you've ever tasted before.
Shadow walks in.
Ah, Shadow, come join us. I've got something special I'd like you to try.
I don't think I'm in the mood for celebrating, Skinner.
Oh, come now, Shadow. You and Sonic may have had your differences, but you always respected each other, didn't you?
Yes, but that doesn't mean I have to celebrate his death. We may have been rivals, but we were still friends.
Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it. But let's raise a glass anyway, for old time's sake.
I don't think that's appropriate, Skinner. But I'll take a glass of your famous eggnog.
I understand, Shadow. Let's all take a moment to remember Sonic.
I guess it's just hard to celebrate without him around.
It is, Skinner. But let's try to make the best of it.
I'll do my best. For Chalmers, for Shadow, and for the memory of Sonic. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the main course, a regional delicacy known as steamed holly.
The steamed holly. Skinner, I thought you said you were making the holly with the tangy cranberry glaze and the sautéed Brussels sprouts?
Ah, yes. Well, it seems there was a slight mix-up in the kitchen. But I assure you, this is still a delightful dish. It's called bamba in some parts of the country, but here in Springfield it's known as holly.
I'd never heard of Bamba being referred to as holly, Skinner. And as much as I'd like to believe you, I can't help but feel that you've intentionally misled me.
I assure you, Chalmers, there was no deception intended. It was simply a case of mistaken identity. But please try it. It's quite delicious.
I don't think I'm in the mood for celebrating, Skinner.
Oh, come now, Shadow. Don't be such a party pooper. Let's raise a glass to the memory of Sonic and enjoy the meal. Listen, Chalmers, I believe there's a slight issue in the kitchen.
What is it, Skinner? It smells like something's burning.
Oh, it's nothing to worry about. I assure you it's just a succubus.
Succubus, Skinner? In the kitchen? How is that even possible?
Skinner, I don't think that's appropriate. Sonic may have been my rival, but we always respected each other.
I'm simply trying to save the meal, Chalmers. It's not a laughing matter.
Skinner, there's no such thing as a succubus. And even if there were, it wouldn't be confined to the kitchen. You need to take responsibility for this mess?
It seems I may have made a slight mistake in the kitchen.
Skinner, I'm afraid I can't ignore this any longer. Your house is on fire, and you're telling me it's a succubus.
Offensive, I assure you, Chalmers. It is. I've seen it with my own eyes. And as for the holly, it's simply a case of mistaken identity. I promise you it's still a delicious dish.
I don't know, Skinner. I can't help but feel that you're not being entirely honest with me.
Skinner, I don't think it's appropriate to celebrate Sonic's death. We may have been rivals, but we always respected each other.
Oh, come now, Shadow. Don't be such a party pooper. Let's raise a glass to the memory of Sonic and enjoy the meal.
I'm afraid I must take my leave, Skinner. I can't stand by and watch as you continue to make excuses for your mistakes.
I understand, Chalmers. I'll make it right. For you, for Shadow, and for the memory of Sonic.